Hello, and welcome to another episode of Untraditionally Traditional, a podcast with me, Brittany Duncan, a millennial homemaker. Join me each week as I share all the things I've learned that make keeping your home, garden, and life running smoothly, all while working. If you are enjoying the podcast, please be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcasting app so you get the episodes downloaded straight to you every Monday. Now, on to today's episode. If you are following the Instagram content calendar, you are expecting an episode about 5-minute cleaning tips today. But I've decided to change gears because what I'm going to talk about today is my reality right now, and this podcast tends to be a reflection of the season and the struggles that I am personally facing. I'll definitely be sharing some 5-minute tips because I've been using them, but today I want to talk about putting oneself in timeout, so to speak, bribing yourself with a reward in order to get work accomplished. Toil for treat, sweat for sweetness, or less cute sounding, work your butt off doing the not so fun task before you're allowed to decorate for Christmas, or run to Hobby Lobby to get cute fabric to make throw pillows, or do anything, quote, fun in the home. Can you tell that I'm speaking from personal experience? I am itching to decorate for Christmas. Normally, I am a decorate the day after Thanksgiving kind of gal, but with all the stress of election season and the cold weather setting in, the idea of pretty twinkly lights and cheery holiday decor just seems like a great idea. Plus, my parents have gone all out in their home, and it's such a happy, welcoming environment to walk into that I am personally itching to get started in our home. But like a parent would with a child, I am saying to myself, hold on just a minute, we need to finish our chores before we play. And well, the adult chore list is something that would make even the scariest of Halloween creatures shake in their boots, let me tell you. Johnson and I busted our butts all last weekend, primarily outdoors, closing down the property for winter. Raking, pulling old plants out of garden beds, getting the chicken coop partially winterized, prepping our whitewater raft for winter storage, putting all of the outdoor furniture away. If you're a property owner, you know that list just goes on. And that's just outside. With the closure of my antique booth, I have a lot more stuff in our home than is normal. And while I'm a more is more person, I think I've reached my limit. As badly as I want to decorate for Christmas, the idea of introducing more stuff into our home before I can get things back on track is not at all appealing. So I'm using it as my carrot, the treat at the finish line. Because we spent all weekend outdoor doing these chores, I am left with small pockets of time throughout the week to tackle indoor jobs. And this is where those 5 to 10 minutes of time that someone might spend scrolling on Instagram or checking emails for the 60th time of the day can be spent in a really impactful way. It is amazing how many tasks only take 5 minutes, and even bigger tasks can be broken down into multiple 5-minute steps. Think about, say, doing your laundry. To me, that's a big process. But if you think about it, it takes 5 minutes to shove the laundry into the machine and turn it on. That's one 5-minute task. Then you swap the laundry. That's another one. And then you pull it out and fold it and then putting it away. Like, you can break that down into multiple steps so that you don't have to have 25 minutes to take your laundry out and fold it and put it away all in the same go. Enter our friend, the timer. If you're like me and a little ADHD, a little bit easily distracted and sucked into another project, get a timer for a task and honor it. Here is how I've been focusing on purging our home, organizing it, getting it back to the basics before I allow myself to decorate for Christmas or start on any other projects. First is purging. Maybe it's because the weather turns cold and we know that we're going to be stuck indoors more, or maybe it's that we've been staring at our gardens for the past 6 months and haven't taken inventory of the inside of our homes in a while. But at least for me, this time of year always makes me overwhelmed with stuff and wanting to purge. The dingy kitchen and bath towels suddenly drive me insane. The piles of paper to be filed suddenly feel like Mount Everest, even though they're really not that big. The freezer looks like a bomb went off, and the fridge could use a deep clean. And it's the weirdest feeling for me when October hits. It's like I've been plopped into my own home from somewhere else, and I'm seeing it for the first time. And I look around and I'm like, how have I not noticed any of this until now? What I see, I'm not loving. So with my purging step, it's to remove what I don't love. Let me be clear, when I say purge, I'm not saying throw away or donate everything, but get it out of your space. That might be putting summer decor away in a bin labeled summer decor that you store away until June. You're purging it from your active living space. Ways that I'm doing this with those 5-minute blocks of time. One is Facebook Marketplace. When I see something and in my head I'm like, oh, I need to list that on Facebook Marketplace, I just do it. I grab my phone, I snap a couple photos, write a quick description, and then I post it. And then I move it to a designated corner of my home that I'm using for items that I currently have posted to Facebook Marketplace. Again, this is, a lot of this is because I have things from the antique shop that I don't personally need. But, we all have those stuff that it's like we grow out of our season and we don't really need it anymore. Maybe your kids have outgrown it or they're not interested in it anymore. And, you're saying, oh, I should post this to Facebook Marketplace. But rather than just saying it over and over, it really only takes a couple minutes to create that post. So now when I think it, I'm just doing it. Second is to donate. Next to that space where I'm storing the things to go that have been posted on Facebook Marketplace, I have some tubs that are for donate. Items that sit on Facebook Marketplace for more than 2 weeks are going to donate. As Kendra Adachi of the Easy Genius podcast puts it, make a rule and stick to it. This is my rule, and it's a painful one because the items are good stuff, and I have a hard time. I'm like, oh, someone will buy it eventually. Maybe I just need to lower it. Maybe it's not the right season. I can hold on to it. I might be able to do something with it. No, my rule is that if it's on Facebook Marketplace for more than 2 weeks, it's going to donate. They're not bringing me enough joy to want to keep and display personally in my home, so don't let them take up space for things that will. Those items, they're getting 2 weeks. 3 is to sort. I have a lot of stuff to sort right now, and that 5-minute timer is proving to be really handy. I give myself 5 minutes to go through our kitchen towel drawer, and I pull out any that are stained and decide if they're going to donate or rag pile. Be reasonable with this. How many rags do you need? Give yourself a limit and stick to it in whatever you're sorting, because otherwise you're going to end up storing 3 years worth of old hand towels as rags that you don't use and take up space. Just a note about that. Towels, blankets, linens, even if stained, are really great to donate to animal shelters in your area. You would not believe how many towels and, of all sizes and blankets they go through in a day caring for all the animals. And for sanitary reasons, they need to swap them out a lot. And so it's a great place to consider donating pieces that you don't think somebody would want to buy from a Goodwill if you're willing to make the extra trip. You know what I'm saying? Like, if our hand towels are super stained and gross and we don't want them in our home, someone's probably not going to buy that from Goodwill, right? So finding a place that you can donate them where they'll actually be put into use is ideal. I'm a big fan of storage bins, and I found that if you set them up, it can make your sorting process really quick. Since we're at the end of summer and nearly the end of fall, I have a few tubs open for me to sort into. One is gardening and outdoor maintenance, another is spring and summer decor, and then I have a fall decor one. Get those items out from the piles of stuff that are in your garage and tucked in the corners of your house and into the bin that it's supposed to be in, categorized so it can be stored out of the way. You're not going to use that stuff again until next summer, so rather than tripping over it in the garage all winter and spring, just move it into the summer bin. This isn't a 5-minute task, but more of a general rule, and it's the touch it once rule. You finish your coffee, you walk your mug over to the kitchen counter. No, because now you have to touch it again on a separate occasion to either hand wash it or just put it into the dishwasher. Take that extra 20 seconds and finish the job. Another example, you walk the mail into the house and you drop it on the entryway table. No. Bring it in, recycle the 95% of it that's junk, and then read the 5% that isn't. If you have a bill to be paid and you have that extra 3 minutes to log in and pay it right then, do it. Otherwise, put it wherever you put bills that need to be paid. You walk in the door, you throw your coat onto the closest chair and your shoes by the front door. No, walk the couple extra steps, put your coat in the coat closet along with your shoes. Those few extra steps have kept your entryway from being cluttered with used coffee cups, mail, jackets, shoes. See how that builds up? Those extra 10 seconds of effort, they don't seem important, but they make a really big difference in our ability to pick up our homes quickly. They also help to keep up morale. When you already have a long list of household jobs to do that are bigger jobs like tackling the garage or cleaning out linen closets, getting in the deep freezer, those jobs can seem even more daunting when we look around and then we see tons of other little jobs that also need to be done. So just finishing the task that we're on, spending that extra, what is probably 10 seconds most of the time to just put the item that you're using away is huge. Room by room, drawer by drawer method is something that I like to do around this time of the year, and just chip through it 5 minutes at a time. Be methodical, be strict, open a drawer, remove everything that shouldn't be in there. Sort trash into the trash bin and donate into the donate bin. And then items that have a designated space that they're supposed to be in, go put them there. And then whatever is remaining that you don't know what to do with, decide if you need. Be strict here. I mean, when's the last time you really touched that thing or needed it? If it's not yours, this is for, families with children, put it into a bin and give your kids a week to go through the bin and remove anything they want before the rest gets donated. Tell them at the end of the week, this bin is going to the donate. So go through it, pick out what you want. And, for kids that, tend to want to keep everything, you could do this with them and, kind of have a conversation about it. Why do you want to keep this? What is the purpose beside it? Do you need it? When's the last time you played with it? And kind of get them making those decisions for themselves so that they can grow up and turn into adults that can use reasoning power as to whether or not they need something or if they should let it go. For items that maybe are your husband's and you don't know where they should go, have a separate bin for him and put all those things in there and he can put them away at his convenience. Learn from my mistakes that not all tools go in the same toolbox, just like not all kitchen utensils go in the same drawer. So leave the sorting to the pro of that division in your home. For us, tools are, while I use them and I know how to use them, that's my husband's department. So he has certain places that he likes those things to go. I will have him put those back so that I'm not putting them in the wrong spot. Now, I'm not saying that you need to sort your entire home before you can decorate for the holidays, but if you feel like holding that as a reward or something else as a reward to give yourself after you complete 1 or 2 or 3 big projects that you've been meaning to do, needing to do, saying to yourself, gosh, I've got to get around to that. I've personally found it to be really helpful just to take a step back, force myself to do the adult thing before adding to my own chaos. I will be doing another episode that really breaks down all the various 5-minute tasks out there because there are a ton and it can be really helpful just to break things down into 5 minutes. But for now, this episode is what I will leave you with as I continue to sort myself out in the Duncan household. Hopefully it resonated with you and you find it helpful in yours. Thank you for listening to this episode of Untraditionally Traditional. If you enjoyed the podcast, please share it with those special people who would love it too and write a review. For more tips and photos of my home and garden, follow Untraditionally Traditional Pod on Instagram. Until next week, let's continue to make our homes places of joy and service to ourselves and those we share them with.